How I conquered arthritis pain naturally. The shocking results. If you're new here, I'm so glad you're joining me today. I'm about to share something really personal, something that I've been dealing with for quite a while, and I know a lot of you out there can relate. Today, I'm diving into my journey with arthritis and how I discovered something that completely changed how I manage it. Honestly, I was shocked by the results, and I think you will be too. So here's the thing. For years, I struggled with arthritis. I had those days where getting out of bed felt like a challenge, and even simple tasks, like holding a pen, walking up the stairs, or picking up groceries, turned into this painful, exhausting ordeal. If you've ever dealt with chronic pain, you know exactly what I mean. There's that constant underlying discomfort, the way it can completely wear you down mentally and physically. And let me tell you, it really took a toll on my life. I tried all sorts of things, painkillers, creams, you name it, but nothing ever seemed to work long term. I was just going through the motions, hoping something would give. I think a lot of us are in that same place at some point, right? You start to wonder if this is just going to be your reality forever. But I wasn't ready to give up. I knew there had to be something out there that could help me, something that could address not just the pain, but the actual root cause. And that's when I stumbled across a breakthrough that totally changed my outlook. Now, I want to be clear, I'm not a doctor, and what worked for me might not be the perfect fix for everyone. But if you're dealing with arthritis or any kind of chronic pain, I think this might just be the game changer you've been looking for. I'm going to walk you through what I found, how it worked for me, and most importantly, how you can start taking small steps to improve your own quality of life too. So stick around because I'm going to be sharing everything, from the exact changes I made to the results that completely shocked me. You definitely don't want to miss this. Let's jump in. 1. My struggle with arthritis. All right, so let's talk about it. Arthritis. If you're dealing with it, you already know how frustrating it can be. For me, it started as just a little stiffness here and there. You know, the kind of thing you brush off, thinking, oh, maybe I just slept wrong. But then it got worse. Mornings became a struggle. I'd wake up and my joints felt like they had turned to stone overnight. Even simple things, like opening a jar, climbing the stairs, or just getting out of bed, became this slow, painful process. At first, I tried to ignore it. I told myself, it's just part of getting older, or maybe I just need to stretch more. But deep down, I knew something wasn't right. The pain wasn't going away. It wasn't just a bad day here and there. It was every day. Some days were manageable, but others, completely exhausting. It felt like my body was fighting against me, and honestly, that was the hardest part. I tried everything. Over-the-counter pain meds, heating pads, cold packs, creams, you name it, I probably tried it. And sure, some of them gave me temporary relief, but nothing really fixed the problem. I was stuck in this cycle of pain and frustration, wondering if I'd just have to accept that this was my new normal. But here's the thing. I wasn't ready to give up. I started researching, watching videos, reading stories from people who had actually found ways to manage or even reduce their arthritis symptoms. That's when I realized I had to do something different. Something that wasn't just covering up the pain, but actually addressing the root cause. And that's where this journey really began. 2. The breakthrough discovery. After months of dealing with the pain and trying everything under the sun, I stumbled across something that honestly blew my mind. It wasn't a new pill or some fancy gadget. It was a natural remedy that promised to actually help manage arthritis pain by focusing on the inflammation in your joints, not just masking the pain temporarily. At first, I was skeptical. I had tried so many things, and nothing had given me lasting relief. So I wasn't exactly optimistic. But something about it felt different. Maybe it was the science behind it. Or maybe it was just my desperation for something that worked. I learned that inflammation was one of the biggest culprits in arthritis. If you could manage the inflammation, you could also manage the pain. That's when I came across a specific method, a technique involving dietary changes, natural supplements, and a shift in my overall lifestyle. I couldn't help but think, could this be the answer I've been looking for? I'll admit, it wasn't an overnight change. But as I began making these small tweaks in my routine, I started feeling something. It wasn't a miracle cure, but I noticed less stiffness in the mornings. My joints didn't feel as heavy. The pain wasn't gone completely, but it was like I could finally breathe again. It felt like I had taken the first step in a new direction. This discovery was so eye-opening for me. I'd been so focused on treating the symptoms, pain, discomfort, stiffness, that I hadn't realized I could make changes in my daily life that could impact the cause of the pain. It was empowering, to say the least, and that's why I felt compelled to share it with all of you, because it made a difference for me, and I truly believe it could help others too. 3. How it works. The science behind it. So let's break it down. I know, science can be a bit overwhelming, but stay with me. This is actually pretty cool. What I found out is that arthritis, especially the kind that affects the joints, is primarily driven by inflammation. Your immune system, which is supposed to protect you, goes a little haywire and starts attacking the healthy tissues in your joints. This creates swelling, stiffness, and of course pain. Now, I'm not a doctor, but from what I gathered, managing the inflammation is key. And here's where things get interesting. There are certain foods, nutrients, and supplements that can actually help reduce this inflammation in the body. Omega-3 fatty acids, turmeric, and even antioxidants from fruits and vegetables play a huge role in calming down the immune response. I was amazed when I learned how these things could actually help your body repair itself. Instead of just taking medication to dull the pain, I could be using natural ingredients to support my body's healing process. For example, omega-3s are known to have powerful anti-inflammatory properties, which is why people with arthritis are often encouraged to eat more fish like salmon or take supplements. Turmeric, on the other hand, is known for its active compound, curcumin, which has been shown to reduce inflammation and pain. I started incorporating more of these into my diet, and honestly, I could feel a difference. It wasn't a quick fix, but I noticed that over time, the pain lessened, and my joints felt more flexible. The best part? No side effects, just real, natural healing. 4. Testing it out. My experience. All right, now let's talk about what happened when I actually started testing this out. I dove right in, ready to try something new, even though I didn't know if it would work. I swapped out some of my usual foods for more anti-inflammatory options. I made sure I was getting enough omega-3s. I started taking turmeric supplements, and I added a lot more leafy greens, berries, and nuts into my diet. But the changes weren't just in my meals. I had to adjust my lifestyle too. I started doing gentle exercises, like yoga and stretching. That helped keep my joints moving without overloading them. I also started taking time to relax and reduce stress, which I learned is a big factor in inflammation. I was so focused on following the plan to the letter, but I also had a part of me that was holding back. What if it didn't work? What if I was just wasting my time again? But then, something incredible started happening. About a week in, I noticed my mornings were getting easier. I could move around without feeling like I needed to warm up for 30 minutes first. By the second week, I wasn't reaching for the painkillers as much, and by the end of the month, I felt like I had my life back. The change wasn't just physical, it was mental too. I wasn't constantly worried about the next flare-up. I felt hopeful. More importantly, I felt in control. I was doing something for my body, and I was seeing results. It was a reminder that taking small steps, with consistency, can lead to big changes. 5. The shocking results. Okay, let's get to the good part. What happened after all those changes? Well, I was honestly shocked. I didn't expect it to work as well as it did. After sticking to the routine for a while, I noticed that not only was the pain much more manageable, but my range of motion had improved significantly. There was no more stiffness that left me in pain just from bending over or sitting too long. I even noticed that my energy levels were higher. I had been living with arthritis for so long that I forgot what it felt like to wake up without aching joints. I didn't have to spend the first hour of my day trying to loosen up my body. It felt like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders, literally. And the best part? It didn't involve popping pills every day. It was all natural. Now, I'm not saying this will work the same way for everyone. Arthritis is different for each person. But for me, it was a game changer. I was able to take control of my symptoms in a way that I never thought was possible. And that's why I wanted to share this with you, because if it worked for me, it could work for you too. 6. Pros and cons, what you need to know. Now, I want to be honest with you. It's important to understand that this isn't a perfect solution. Nothing works 100% of the time for everyone, and there are pros and cons to this approach. On the positive side, the benefits of reducing inflammation naturally are huge. You're not just masking symptoms, you're addressing the root cause. I felt more in control of my health, and I had the freedom to move more easily. Plus, the side effects were minimal. But, like anything, it wasn't all smooth sailing. Some of the foods I had to adjust to were things I didn't love. It took time to build new habits, and the changes weren't always instant. Some days, the pain would flare up even with the changes I had made. But overall, I can honestly say that the pros far outweigh the cons. 7. Would I recommend it? After everything I went through, after seeing how much better I felt, I would absolutely recommend giving this a try. Of course, everyone's journey with arthritis is different, and you should always talk to your doctor before making big changes. But for me, this natural approach has been life-changing, and I think it could help others too. Final thoughts and next steps. Ultimately, the takeaway is that you don't have to settle for constant pain. There are options out there, natural, simple changes that can make a real difference. The most important thing is to stay hopeful and never give up on finding what works for you. Your journey might look different from mine, but it's worth exploring. Keep moving forward, and remember, you are not alone in this. Summary. In this video, I'm sharing my personal journey with arthritis and the breakthrough discovery that completely changed the way I manage it. After years of struggling with pain and trying countless remedies that only provided temporary relief, I found a natural solution that focused on reducing inflammation at its source. I'll walk you through how I made simple yet powerful changes to my diet, lifestyle, and daily routine. Things I never thought would make such a difference. If you've been feeling frustrated or stuck in a cycle of pain, this video might just be the inspiration you need to try something new. Whether you're dealing with arthritis or chronic pain of any kind, I hope my story can give you some hope and helpful insights. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, or if you're ready to try something new to manage your arthritis, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more content just like this. I love hearing from you all, so drop a comment below if you've tried any natural remedies or if you have any questions about my experience. I'm always here to support you on your journey because you're not alone in this. Stay positive, keep moving forward, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.